Well, Luke,
What'd you
go ahead.
What'd you think of the weekend?
It was good, get out, get a couple matches in. So it was good trip, get used to making weight again and everything like that.
How surreal was coming away with Sunday's win? Just what was going through your mind? Could you describe the afterthoughts and stuff like that?
Yeah, it was exciting, I expected it. But it was just good to see, the work I put in from even last year, because I made some big jumps last year before I got hurt. And then just continuing with the new coaching staff just to kind of see it pay off. So it was pretty cool.
Taking into account what you had to go through last year, like you said, there were times where you were looking really good and then injuries would kind of set you back. Taking that into account, did it make it all the more special for you afterwards?
Yeah, it did, I guess, a little bit. It was just good to compete healthy again. It felt good. Just be out there and be myself again. So it felt good.
You get to compete in one of the most historic venues in college wrestling, but Gill Coliseum is pretty cool too. Did you like the venue? Was that kind of cool?
Yeah, it was cool. Last time we were there, they had a really big crowd, and so I was expecting that. The crowd was still good, but it was a little disappointing. I thought they'd have a little more fans there, but it was Sunday and kind of raining, so. But it was still a good atmosphere. I don't know how many they had. They probably had like 4,000 people there, so it was two good environments. So it's always good to get in front of some fans, because not everybody gets to do that. We're lucky, we're fortunate to be able to get that at Oklahoma State, anywhere we go.
Was there a point in that Munoz match where you're like, okay, I'm fine here? I imagine, because going in, big underdog, things like that, was there a point when maybe takedown or you're riding him or anything where you're like, okay, I'm doing well?
I knew kind of once he shot, I know I'm pretty hard to take down, and I can take down a lot of people, and I'm tough on top and get away, so that's a pretty good recipe to win. So once I rode him pretty hard, I felt like coming off the mat, I feel like I probably could have scored more in the third. He got to my legs, but I'm pretty comfortable there. So I probably, looking back, I wish I would have went out and tried to push for another takedown for the major. But that's just a learning experience, first weekend. So when I get in that position again, just push a little bit more for bonus points.
Two things. I'm getting you weren't the underdog in your mind.
No, I wasn't. You can look at the rankings or whatever, but last year I was pretty dinged up, so I'm not really looking at that stuff. It'll all take care of itself. I have a tough schedule, and I'll get to wrestle some good guys, so it'll all take care of itself.
You had the fall in Utah. Were you surprised? I know that's the emphasis of this coaching staff, score points.
Yeah.
But 38 and 36 on the opening weekend, and all the bonus matches.
Yeah, it was pretty. I didn't really know what to expect. It's kind of reminding high school. We used to have goals like that where it's bonus. But when you get guys like DJ and Wyatt that can put up points, they look. It's not effortlessly, but they do it effortlessly. When you have two guys like that, you get in the lineup, and then you got guys like I think Carter and Tegan and all those guys getting tech falls and majors. You got Dustin, 2 tech falls. When you get those guys in there, you can score a lot of points fast. So and then you got Cam got a major. So that's just, it makes it more enjoyable to watch, and it's more fun to compete that way when you're kind of hanging on and stuff. You get a little more tired and stuff. You get tired both, but when you're pushing the pace, the other guy gets a lot more tired, and we're in really good shape. So, and that's how we wrestle every day. So.
Luke, we've heard that there are going to be some, pretty cool rituals or ceremonies from the hour leading up to Friday's school. How are you looking forward to watching that stuff or experiencing that?
Yeah, I probably won't watch it, but I know it's gonna be really cool for the fans. I know that's a big emphasis, and I think it'll be a cool environment. They kind of told us some stuff yesterday what we're gonna be doing. Not really. It'll be pretty cool for us, but for the fans, it'll be a big show. I think, and so just look forward to people coming out and really getting out there and supporting.
This is a new era. It's not like Oklahoma State changes wrestling coaches every year. First time in forever, it feels like. Is it cool to be a part of this group?
Yeah, it is. I don't know if necessarily that it's a new changing, but just pretty grateful to be in the opportunity I am. I had Coach Smith, now I have Coach Taylor, and so just being able to learn and from all that, it's super exciting, and I'm just excited to keep it rolling.
Did you feel like you have your weights fed off of each other? Because you kind of mentioned earlier, you guys can get on a roll there, scoring a lot of points pretty quick. Do you feel like you're feeding off the energy maybe
Yeah,
guys that go out before you?
I think they talk about it too. Like we got Troy at 25, and then 33, and then 41, just building off each other, you know. And then I think even more once we get up top, you know, we got some really good guys around me. You know, just feed off their energy. You know, they're all high energy guys, score a lot of points, and so that's what I like to do. So
It's not obviously you've been pushing yourself here, but is there any sort of relief or confidence you get out of these first couple matches, either physically, mentally?
a little bit, you know, but not really. I mean, obviously everybody knows March is what matters, so we just gotta keep building for that, you know, and get better every week. And you know, these matches are important, but you know, at the end of the day, we just gotta keep getting better every week.
How would you describe both the physical and the mental challenges that you went through last year?
Yeah, it was tough, you know, just I mean, it wasn't too fun, but it was just a tough year. But I've learned some stuff, I guess, but it was good.
Coming back from that, you get 2 wins to open the season. Does that kind of build your confidence back a little quickly, or
Yeah, I think-
feeling different?
Yeah, I think it does. Like I had it from practice too. You know, when I was wrestling with like Dustin and Wyatt and guys like that, you know, it gives you a lot of confidence when you got 2 guys around you that are top 3 in the country. You know, so going out, I kind of knew like I was wrestling pretty good. You know, and when you wrestle those guys, you know, you get beat up some, but you also can do the good things. And then you got Coach Taylor. So my confidence, like wrestling wise, was pretty good. I'd been wrestling pretty good in the room and stuff, so I was feeling confident from that aspect. But probably gives me a little more confidence just getting some wins this weekend, just building off of it and feeling good.
A little off topic, but Bobby Williams took over for your dad, and I talked to him. I did a story on this last week. What are your thoughts on the job he's done and how all that's carried over?
Yeah, he's done awesome, you know. So he was, I think, on the first state championship team at Tuttle, and then he went to college and he came back and he was my assistant coach and for me, like my freshman year. So I had him all through high school. Then my dad retired, and he's done an awesome job, you know, just continuing. He does his own thing, you know, but he still has some things that he's learned from my dad. And he's done an awesome job just continuing to reload and just keep the culture, you know. And I mean, I was texting him. I texted him last night because we were talking about the dream team. We were on the trip, and I guess him and Coach Taylor, like Coach Taylor's on Team USA, and Oklahoma was the dream team that year. And so like they were on different teams. But I was texting about that last night. So we keep in touch, and so it's just an awesome guy to keep in touch with, you know. And you know, we normally never talk wrestling. You just normally just how you're doing, you know, and different stuff like that. And I give him a hard time sometimes. So
You're talking about the team that beat, like the Oklahoma team that beat the national team here in
Yeah.
Stillwater.
Yeah,
I remember
yeah,
that was like,
I think,
a year or 2 after I graduated.
yeah.
I remember that.
because it was crazy because they ended up winning because we were talking somehow. Somebody missed weight or something, like Coach Taylor said for USA.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's how Oklahoma won. So
Yeah.
it's pretty crazy.
I remember that.
Coach Taylor was talking about kind of the workouts that you were doing before you were able to get on the mat. How quickly did the actual wrestling come back whenever you finally got cleared to get out there, you know, to get you to this point?
I'd say pretty fast because, like, obviously I would try to do, he had some, like, pretty tough workouts I'd do on the bike. And so I would try to do those, like, you know, I'd either get here a little early or do it at the beginning of practice because, I mean, they would be normally like 30, 40 minutes long. And so then I'd be able to watch most of practice and then just pick up on the new stuff. And so I had a pretty idea of, like, kind of what they were doing. And some of the stuff I'd done before, so just kind of incorporating that stuff into it. So it came back pretty fast, you know, and then I've had, I don't know when I got back on the mat, but it was July 1st, when I first got back, and then I got released fully like mid-October. So I haven't been going like live for that long, but I mean, I'm just building. I think I'll only get getting better.
When you're first getting back on the mat after being injured, is there something physically you're looking for, like to just sort of reaffirm I'm feeling good, like physically I'm back? Or
Yeah, it was a little scary just because, like, you know, I got my pec reattached, so just making sure. I was wrestling smaller guys for like the first like month and a half, just to make sure, you know, like, because, you know, sometimes you wrestle guys can't really control what they're doing. So little guy, you know, if they do something wrong, they're a little smaller. But I wouldn't say I started getting my confidence. I was still a little hesitant with it for a while, but then like once I started like wrestling live a couple of times, and it felt fine. I got some positions and it felt fine. I knew I was pretty good, and it just kept getting stronger. And then I'd say probably the past like month and a half, it's been really strong. Like once I got released, I mean, I didn't have any setbacks. So.
Did you remember like hitting a point? Because it sounds like early on you were just kind of, which I think is normal. Like you're kind of like just checking yourself out after, making sure like, do I feel good? Like, is everything like? Did you hit a point where you kind of stopped thinking about it?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly when. It's probably when I started going live. I think it just probably felt fine afterwards, or I got in a position and I stretched it and it was fine. So, and then probably getting a little stronger in the weight room, but I don't really push it too much just because like your pec strength's not super important in wrestling. Like it's strong still, but I'm not gonna set any records or anything right now.